Namaste दोस्तों, क्या हाल है? So guys, today we're gonna watch a short, not real short video about story of Krishna's death and Yadava's destruction. I have no idea who is Yadava, and I guess it's some evil forces. Also, people are questioning like why if Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu, as it's believed in Hinduism because it was mentioned that in Buddhism, blah blah. Okay, so, and people are questioning like why he is a god himself, how could he die, and why it happened like this. Also, you know what's interesting? Here in Russia we have Krishnaism. Okay, so we have this part of religion where people believe in Krishna and oh my god, and I'm sorry, and they pray to Krishna. And I always had a question in my mind, like why if Krishna is incarnation of Lord Vishnu, like a really cool god who is out there, one of the most important gods, one of the three gods. So why not praying to Vishnu? Why praying to Krishna? So if you have an answer to this question, I'll be really happy to hear it because I really want to know. Because here we have one temple, in Moscow, but it's about Krishna god, not other gods. So they're not praying there to other gods, only to Krishna. Why? Okay, let's just watch the video. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, of course, and let's go. Now I will know who is Yadava.
Krishna is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So in that sense, he himself is God.
Exactly.
But a common question arises that if Krishna is God himself, then how can God die? Also, if he died, then how? Who had the power to kill him? After the Kurukshetra war ended, there was destruction everywhere. Pandavas, in spite of winning the war, were not happy. Blindfolded Gandhari was shedding tears seeing the death of her 99 sons in the battle. According to her, this mass killing could have been avoided. Her husband, blind King Dhritarashtra, stood by her side looking helpless. One day, Krishna and Pandavas came up to her to offer apologies and condolences. But suddenly, her grief turned into vengeance. Ignoring the Pandavas, she aggressively came up to Krishna and said, "This is what you wanted? You, whom I worship as the avatar of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, aren't you ashamed of doing this? You could have easily averted the war using your divine power, but you did not.
Could he?
Is this what you wanted from your own creation? I had requested you each and every day to avert this horrific event from happening, but you did not answer my prayers. Ask your mother Devaki the pain of losing a child.
Kinda right.
7 of her children were killed just after their birth, and now 100 of my children have been killed in the war. A war that could have been avoided if you wanted to." After hearing this, Krishna smiled. Looking at the smiling Krishna, she said, "You are smiling after this horrific event. What kind of a person are you?" Then the moment had arrived, which probably Krishna knew already, when Gandhari curses Krishna, saying that if her devotion towards Vishnu was true, and if she was true to her husband, then 36 years from that day, Krishna would die, and Dwarka would be flooded, and the entire Yadava clan will be destroyed the same way the kings of Kuru killed one another. Soon after cursing Krishna, Gandhari realized that she got carried away and fell down on her knees and started crying. Krishna lifted her up and smiled. He said to Gandhari that her curse will take effect not only because of her true devotion towards him, but also because of the fact that change is inevitable, and that change is the law of the universe. He knew that someday everything is going to change. Yadavas, under his protection, were very powerful, and nobody could defeat them. So when Gandhari cursed Krishna, he was happy, as now he had the reason which led to the destruction of his own race. Otherwise, led by power, his own race would become a burden on earth someday. Years passed. Yudhishthir had become the king of Hastinapur. He turned out to be an excellent king. Everyone in his kingdom was living a happy and peaceful life. Similarly, people in Dwarika were enjoying a blissful life. Once, great sages like Vishwamitra, Durvasa, Vashisht, and many more were on a pilgrimage. After visiting many places, they visited Dwarika to meet Lord Krishna and his elder brother Balaram. A group of Yadava boys, on seeing the sages, decided to play a prank on them to test their powers. They dressed up Sambha, the son of Krishna, and Jambavati like a woman and made him look like a pregnant woman. They visited the sages, and Sambha, in the attire of a woman, asks the sages if he was going to give birth to a boy or a girl. The
Nice test.
sages, due to their divine powers, realized that it is a boy in the attire of a woman. This misconduct of the Yadava boys made them furious. They cursed Sambha that on the very next day he will give birth to a lump of iron, which will lead to the destruction of the entire Yadava race. Soon after hearing the curse, the boys started laughing and returned as they thought it was a joke. But the curse turned out to be true. Sambha developed a labor pain and delivered a lump of rock from within him. All of the boys were shocked and scared at the same time. They were scared, thinking about the other curse of the sage, that this lump of iron will lead to the destruction of the Yadava race. To avoid that, they immediately crushed the lump of iron into the fine powder and cast it into the sea. They ground the lump of iron finely, except a sharp triangular iron piece, which was extremely hard to grind, so they left it as it is. They threw the fine powder and the remaining sharp triangular iron piece into the sea. After casting everything into the sea, they became relaxed and went home happily. Time passed by. A fish swallowed that triangular piece of iron. A hunter named Jara catches this fish underwater. He finds the iron piece in the fish's entrails. He used that iron piece to craft a fine poisonous arrow. The fine powder of the iron, on the other hand, washed back to the shores and deposited itself on the coast of Dwarka. A certain grass
Such a
grew in lush
complicated story.
abundance in the area where the powder was deposited. After 36 years, as per the curse of Gandhari, the time had come for the destruction of the Yadava clan. One day, the Yadavas gathered on the beach. They were drunk and lost in their senses. They started teasing one another, bringing up the gory pasts and gruesome mistakes of each other. All of them started blaming each other by remembering their gruesome past and the blunders they have made in the Kurukshetra war. Satyaki had fought alongside the Pandavas in the battle of Kurukshetra. On the other hand, Kritavarma was on the Kaurava side. A drunk Satyaki laughed and insulted Kritavarma for killing the Pandava army in the middle of their sleep. Pradyumna, the son of Krishna, applauded Satyaki for this. In response, Kritavarma taunted Satyaki by saying that he had slain many armless warriors in the cold-blooded war. The tension amongst the men grew, and finally, an enraged Satyaki rushed towards Kritavarma and cut his head off.
What
The
about
friends of
Krishna?
Kritavarma jumped on Satyaki and a great riot followed. Innocent Pradyumna was also killed in the fight. To know the full story of Krishna's son Pradyumna, watch the video linked in the comments below. Since they had come to
Oh,
the
I
seashores
thought it
for
was the
pleasure,
end.
they did not carry any weapons along with them. They saw the long grown grass in abundance along the seashore. They picked up the grass stems and killed each other. In reality, those grass stems were made with the powder of the same lump of iron born to Sambha. Thus, the curse of the sages and Gandhari fructified. The entire Yadava clan was eliminated except Krishna.
Yeah, what about
Also,
Krishna?
his charioteer, Daruka and Babru were the only survivors. They both approached Krishna and informed him that all Yadavas were killed and that the whereabouts of Balarama are not known. Hearing this, Krishna told Daruka to immediately go to Hastinapur and inform Dharmaraj about the mass massacre of Yadavas and bring Arjuna here."
Oh, Arjuna.
Accordingly, Daruka rushed
His
towards Hastinapur in a
student.
chariot. Balaram was in a deep meditation under a tree. Krishna went to the place where Balaram was sitting and sat in meditation along with him. But there was no reply from Balaram. A long serpent came out of the face of Balaram. This meant that Balaram had left his mortal body. His soul travelled into the sky through the sea. As Balaram was the incarnation of Adi Shesha, the Naga community welcomed him back. Balaram attained Vaikuntha, the celestial abode of Lord Vishnu, and joined him. Krishna saw Balaram putting an end to his incarnation. Then Krishna thought that time had come for him to leave the world and go back to his original abode.
So he
Krishna
decided
started
it
thinking
himself.
about the ways and means to leave his body. He remembered the words of Rishi Durvasa. Once, as per the wish of Saint Durvasa, Krishna applied payasam, a liquid food prepared with milk, sugar, and rice, throughout the sage's body. As his legs were resting on the ground, he could not apply it to his feet. Durvasa observed it and said, "Krishna, you have not applied payasam to my foot. Hence, your death will be through your foot." Krishna laid down under a tree and went into Yoga Samadhi. At that time, the hunter Jara entered the forest. That hunter misunderstood the moving foot of Krishna as a hidden deer and shot a lethal arrow that pierced into Krishna's feet. As soon as the hunter reached Krishna, he realized his mistake and pleaded the Lord for forgiveness. Lord Krishna consoles him and tells him how his death was inevitable. Krishna says that in his previous birth as Ram in the Treta Yuga, Ram killed the Vanar king Bali from behind. So he had now reaped the price for the same through Jara, who was the reincarnation of King
Crazy.
Bali in his previous birth. This story beautifully brings out the very important fact that even for the ruler of the universe, the law of karma remains the same. Hence, Lord Krishna left the mortal world. Realizing his mistake, Jara performed the last rite of Lord Krishna as per the Hindu traditions. Lord Krishna's whole body turned into ashes except for his heart. Jara was shocked that the heart remained untouched by fire.
Oh.
Unlike a biological heart, there was only an exotic metallic encased device pulsating and radiating vibrant waves and currents.
Like a robot?
The hunter Jara was stunned and clueless. It is believed that a cosmic voice instructed him to tie the heart to a wooden log and toss it into the river. The heart floated through the river, and after a long period of time, it reached the shores of Puri in Odisha. It is believed that Lord Krishna's heart still beats till date and is stored in one of the idols in the Jagannath temple. To know the full story of Krishna's living heart in the Jagannath temple, watch the video linked in the comments below. The time from which Lord Krishna died is considered to be the beginning of Kali Yuga. Daruka,
Kali
sent by
Yoga, what
Krishna,
is
met
it?
Pandavas
Some
and
error,
informed
right?
them about the tragic deaths. On hearing this, Pandavas plunged into great grief. Arjuna reached Dwarka. Dwarka was supposed to be flooded within the next 7 days of Krishna's death. Hence, Arjuna decided to take the leftover people to Indraprasth. Krishna's father left for the heavenly abode while being in meditation. It is said that the wives of Krishna and Balaram jumped into the sacred fire as Sati. Arjuna performs the last rites of Krishna's kinsmen. All the ladies and children started migrating towards Indraprasth along with Arjuna. As the people walked away from the Dwarka city, the city sank into the sea. On the way, some thieves saw that only one man with a bow accompanied the ladies. They tried to rob them. Arjuna, who was once a great archer, was now old and found it very difficult to even lift his bow. When he tried to invoke his Divyastras, he forgot all the mantras. The thieves killed many people and kidnapped the women. Some of the ladies fell into the nearby river and gave up their lives. Some burned themselves alive. Arjuna arrived at Hastinapur in a disheartened condition. Pandavas visited sage Vedavyas and narrated to him the Yadavas' destruction, Krishna's death, and Arjuna's inability to save the Yadava women. The sage consoled the Pandavas. He told them that they had served their purpose on earth, and thus instructed them to renounce everything and go to the Himalayas. Thus,
Himalayas
the
again.
Pandavas coronated Parikshit as the king of Hastinapur and embarked on their final journey towards the Himalayas.
You know, it's like it was narrating as some bad story when you watch it before sleep, because it was so calm. I said like, oh my god, I should focus and not relax. Why this voice is that calm? I just wanna go and have some rest. God cannot die, but he can change his physical form. Oh, exactly. Oh, damn. This person is smart. Even God himself cannot avoid death. It was inevitable, as he said. But did he know that this moment he will die? I don't know. Could he predict it? Interesting. Okay guys, that's it. It was an interesting video. Thanks for watching. And see you in my next videos, okay?